If you are a digital artist or aspire to be one, you have probably heard of the magical word Procreate. He uses it, she uses it, the dog downstairs uses it, everyone uses it. And yes, I use it too. When I was an art fetus, I felt like the only ones who didn't use this app were people who couldn't afford a Photoshop subscription and the ones who did traditional art. If you're already here, either you use Procreate or you're waiting for your birthday so that someone can buy you the app. But if you have been living under a rock and have never seen this app, let me take you on a ride.
A dazzling place I never knew.
The interface of the app is sleek, while the art I make on it looks bleak. I start and don't complete the fourth art of the week because a new free Procreate alternative for Android is what I seek. And yes, you are welcome. I spent way too much time on this one. But yep, that's where the star of today's show comes in, hipaint. Aside from looking like an exact copy, similar in design to the Procreate, hipaint does have something more to offer, something that Procreate does not have. Is it the brushes, the correction tools, the minimalistic design? No, it's the option to not drill a hole into your wallet. The app is completely free, plus it is available for both Android and iOS, both cell phone and iPad, and honestly, I don't understand why this is not serious competition for Ibis Paint. Which is another app I absolutely adore. It's a video for another time though. Anyways, here is the art I made while I tested out hipaint, and you can stay around to judge for yourself to see if you want to start using hipaint as your go-to digital arts application or software. Since the layout in both apps are pretty much the same, I had an easier time figuring out things in hipaint. It has the same gesture controls like double tap for undo, triple tap for redo, and everything. One thing I noticed is that the eyedropper tool not working when I use my finger to color pick. I'm used to color picking using my finger in Procreate since I don't like pressing on my screen with the Apple Pencil tip. I tried going on the settings in hipaint to see if I could change it, and either I'm too blind or they don't have that option. I did turn off the pencil tip color picking, but for some reason it still color picked when I ended up pressing the pencil a little too hard, which was quite annoying because I use brushes with pressure sensitivity a lot, so the color picking kind of started getting on my nerves. But other than that, I didn't find anything that really made me not want to use hipaint. Everything was really good and similar to Procreate, so the switch from Procreate to hipaint was rather seamless. As for the brushes, they were pretty standard and neat. For beginners or people who don't use any crazy brushes with lots and lots of textures, it must be more than enough. I did not try using downloaded brushes though, so if anyone knows if Procreate or Photoshop brushes work on hipaint, do let me know in the comments. The app also lagged a little after a while, though I was trying to use as little layers as possible, but it might also be the fact that I was screen recording plus listening to music all at the same time, so maybe I just fried the app a little. The lasso tool and the liquify tool were definitely a bit subpar when compared to Procreate, but they still did what they were supposed to do, so I'm not complaining. Lasso is also the issue for me in Ibis Paint X, but I think it's more of a me problem. I've definitely seen a lot of artists use the Ibis lasso tool amazingly well. It's just I'm more used to the pen-like lasso thing from Procreate. But I overcome this by simply outlining places I need with a hard brush and then filling it with the paint bucket tool. But I couldn't find any brush in hipaint with super smooth edges, so this did bring the issue of the outlines being a bit jarring and not colored. But you can always manually paint over those areas, so it wasn't that much of a big deal. Also, the liquify felt a little bit wonky for me, as with any liquify from apps I'm not used to, but lowering the sensitivity a lot should do the trick. I mean, it did in my side. Other than that, the app was almost like using Procreate, so I'm not going to go into the details of it. Like I said, this video is not a review but rather just a suggestion. Usually when finishing a piece, I always experiment with some motion or Gaussian blur and chromatic aberration and noise to add a bit of texture, but I did not find chromatic aberration here. So for the final tweaks, I did switch to Procreate. I mean, it doesn't have to be one app or the other. Why not use them both? I think digital artists as well as traditional artists who think of posting in a digital platform can always experiment with various filters and whatnot. PixArt and Polar has some great filters. Normally I don't use them post drawing, but and I just stick with Procreate's color correction tools, but those editing apps are also completely free, so it's better to experiment and find what works the best for you. So the $1,000,000 question, can hipaint replace Procreate? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't seen much bigger artists use it. I've even seen many artists use Ibis Paint but not hipaint. I literally heard about it a few weeks ago. But I think it has the potential to be widely used. It has so much to offer for being free, plus it works fairly well if you look past the lag and minor issues. It also does not have any ads stuck to the screen or even pop-ups, so that's definitely a win for me. Personally, I'm in a hypothetical situation where I buy an Android tablet to draw, which obviously does not have Procreate. I won't be switching to hipaint, mainly because though the interface is very similar and the design is as simplistic as it can get, and which is also quite reminiscent of Procreate and what I love about Procreate. In terms of sheer benefits, I think Ibis Paintex takes the cake for being completely free and also being available on almost all platforms. But hipaint does have color correction tools which are not available in Ibis for free, so at the end of the day, like I said, why choose one when you can use both? So anyways, if you're still here, thanks for joining me and for lending me your ear. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like and a subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, don't forget to press the bell icon so you get notified the next time I share a video. This is Kaitsukama, your friend, and once again, thanks for joining me. See you in the next video and bye.